Welcome, this is Alison Merritt, and today on Thinking Outside the Box, I'm going to show you how I created these gorgeous hearts. There's hollow puffy hearts. This one I created with Born Pretty powders, and it's very, very sparkly. This one here is red with a gold that I created with a silkscreen, and I really love this product, and I can't wait to introduce how I got the red in this. And purple, of course, my favorite color. And this is also a product that I'm going to introduce you to today. And then I created a couple smaller ones. So these can be used for earrings and pendants. And these I already put the bails on. And I think we're about to get a guest appearance from Pumpkin. He's in the sidelines here. All right, I'm going to try and make this a shorter tutorial, but still be very specific in how I created things, so wish me luck on that. I'm going to tell you now what you're going to need for supplies. Your first thing is going to be your polymer clay. In this tutorial, I will be using black Primo, Sculpey Primo, and I've got it rolled out. These are rolled out to a 4 thickness, so they're pretty thin. And this one's rolled out to a 5. And I'm sorry if the camera is shaky. Pumpkin is running around on my table. Oh, and there he is. He has come to knock over everything and make his guest appearance. Okay, Pumpkin, you can say hi, but then you gotta go, buddy, because we're trying to do a tutorial here. I know, don't step in the clay, please. All right, I'm gonna put you down. All right, I'm not even gonna edit that out because you know what? It's fun to just be natural. All right, so back to what we need. We've got the polymer clay. You're going to need paints for this. And these are the DecoArt Media Fluid Acrylic Interference paints that I introduced in a previous video. Love these. And that is how I created these here. I used the turquoise and the violet. So you're going to need those. And on those and on this one, I used the DecoArt Extreme Sheen Metallic paint for my screen. And this one, after I painted with the interference paints, I dabbed this gold on, and I'll show you what I used. It was just something I had around the house. These two here, I used the DecoArt Extreme Sheen Gold for the silkscreen, and for the background, I used a product that I just discovered. I'm sure it's been around for a while, but it is Prima, and we have Finnabair, I think I'm saying that right, and it's called icing paste. And it just, look at the shimmer in that. I used red for this one. This one is called, let's see, this red is called Fire Ruby. This one is called Red Amber, but it's so coppery. I love it. Look at the sheen on that. And then for the purple, I used, of course, purple, and it's called Amethyst Magic. And it's just, oh, it's beautiful. And I used the copper, or the red amber on that, and I just splotched it on there with a paintbrush. So I'm gonna open this product up real quick just to show you because it's just amazing. Let me get something to pry under there. But look at that. It is just really beautiful. It's got such a shimmer to it. I was really excited to get this product. be able to share it with you. And of course, I will have links in the description below the video for all the products used in this tutorial. So, you're going to need those. And of course, the main thing you're going to need is the heart set of cutters, and you get 7 cutters. And I actually designed these. These are my design. They're kind of a squat, fat heart. I don't know how else to put it. And I just really love the design of them. But you're going to need those to cut the shapes. And on some of them, you're going to need the silk screens. And these are all available at rjcrafts.com. I will leave the link in the description. And these are the screens that I used to create these. So the screens and the cutters, you can get the cutter separately, you can get the 2 screens separately, or you can bundle them all for a better discount. So I'm going to put these aside. I think I said I used the Born Pretty powders on these, and I'll also leave a description. This is the teal and the purple that I used on this. And I'm going to show you how I did that, how I got it so exact with 2 colors. So that's on thinking outside the box. All right, so let's go ahead and start this. I'm going to start with this heart here. So I'm going to move these out of the way, pull this in, and I'm going to show you exactly how I was able to get the mica so perfect. I mean, you look at the screen and it's hard to get on all those little areas. So I am going to show you. And how I started was with the purple. And these are the Born Pretty powders, which I love, some of my favorites. And let me get my tiny Pandora brush. I love this for using on silk screens. And what I did was I took the screen. If you can see through the screen, that's obviously where your medium is going to go, either your mica powders or your paints or whatever. Always remember to look at the screen. If you can read up at the top, that's the side you want up. Shiny side is always down. So what I do with this one is I kind of line up from here to the corner. So right where the screen starts to the corner here. And I'll tell you, or I'll show you why in a minute that I'm going to do that. Now you lightly burnish it on there, very lightly. You don't want to push the clay through the screen. You just want to make sure that the screen is stuck to the clay so it doesn't move around. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my purple and my brush, and I'm going to go ahead and apply this mica powder. And it's basically just putting it down on the screen and brushing it around. It's that simple. And I want to make sure that I'm going to have enough on there for my heart. I don't have to do the whole thing, just the area that I'm going to use. And I think that's enough of the powder. Now I'm just going to take my finger and lightly move it around on the screen to make sure that I've gotten it down in through all the little teeny holes to make sure it gets onto the clay. All right, I think that's pretty good. I don't really have any excess powder on my screen. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this up, and look at that. I just want to pull this up to the camera and just share that shimmer and that just beautiful, beautiful. Oh, I love that. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my other screen that is the reverse of the first screen, and I'm going to lay it down and line it up. And the reason that we used the corner there was to help more as a guide. So I'm going to put this on my screen, and until I can't see any of that mica underneath, I know that I've lined it up correctly. And that is again why I used the corner there. And of course, it's not cooperating. So I'm going to take my corner, and then you just you'll have to adjust to the point where you can't see the mica underneath anymore from the other. And I don't think I have that very well. It takes a little getting used to, but you want to try and be as precise as you can, so just take your time. All good things come to those that wait. And I'm waiting. And I'm sorry if my big head is in the shot. All right, there we go. Good grief, Charlie Brown. All right, that's looks like the best I can get it. I'll just move it up just a tad. All right, that looks good over there. Now I'm just going to adjust it over here, which it needs to go up a little. All right, that looks good. Now I'm just gonna lightly burnish again. Very lightly. Now you need to be a little more careful of how you put this on, because you have mica under there now, and your screen may not stick as well as it did the first time. Now we go ahead and get our teal out. Oh, don't have very much of that left, do I? Well, I'm gonna have to grab another one because I did not come prepared. I'm gonna go ahead and pause this. Well, I am back, and it appears that I have run out of teal. Bummer. So I'm gonna have to use blue, and I've already put some teal on here, so not sure how this is gonna turn out, but we're about to find out. So you take your mica powder for the second one, and this time you kind of want to hold your screen while you spread it around. And I'm going to take my finger and gently push the product through the screen. Crowley, you gotta wait, buddy. I can't let you outside right now. So circular motion, just light pressure, pushing it through the screen. All right, put the top on that so it doesn't spill. And we're gonna go ahead and lift the screen. And there you go. 2 different colors on the black. Now we're gonna take our cutter, and I think this is the one I used. Yes. Take our cutter, and then you just decide where in here that you would like to have your design. And I think we're gonna go right there. And what I like to do is, use my acrylic block to go ahead and push that down. Just squiggle it a little, just to kind of make sure all the edges are clean. Release, and go ahead and pull that up. This that you see here is actual clay on the tile, and I'll clean that up after bake. And this is your leftover with a piece of cat hair on it. Surprise, surprise. I like to save these because I can make beads and stuff out of them later. So I'm gonna put that aside. And now we are going to work on this one here, which is going to be the red heart with the gold silk screen. So let me put this aside. And what we're gonna do is get our red amber out. And again, this is the icing paste from Finnabair. It's Prima Art Extravagance icing paste, red amber. And I'll have a link to that. This we are going to paint directly on the clay. You don't want a super thick coat of this. Hang on, we didn't want red amber. Wrong one, that was for the purple one. We want the fire ruby, because I'm going to show you how I created this one. So this is the fire ruby, and I need something to lift that out with. I like to keep the packaging together just so it doesn't dry out. And I need a brush to apply it. So just my cat wants to go outside, so might be pausing again to let him out. See, I'm just gonna put a light coat on. And if you want brush strokes, that's fine. If you don't, you can use a bigger brush in the end to go across it. But I kind of like the texture that it leaves. So I'm gonna leave it like that. And I'm just lightly putting it on. And like I said, just a light coat of this. All right, we're gonna let that dry. While that is drying, I'm going to show you how I created the puffy hearts. But first, I need to get a glass of water that I forgot to get to put my brush in, because it has paint on it. All right, I'm gonna set this aside to dry. And we're gonna work on the puffy hearts. And that's these here. Now, how I created these is, let me get the right size cutter here. I took my clay. Now, this one is rolled out to a 5 on my pasta machine, and 1 is the thickest setting. So it's fairly thin. And I'm going to take the clay and I'm going to put the clay, line the cutter in the middle, flip the clay over, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm lightly pushing, very lightly pushing into the cutter. And you want to make sure that you get it evenly all the way around. You can flip it over and look, and you see it's kind of poofing in there. Make sure the end, the middle, and the sides are fairly even. And you can make it as poofy as you want, or puffy as you want, or not so puffy. And I think this is good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the edges lightly around the cutter. And then I take this other piece of clay and I'm going to lay it over the back side of that, keeping it flat. Then lay that down on your tile. Push your cutter down, kind of wiggle a little to release it. And there you go. You have a puffy, hollow heart. You don't want to move this. That around the area is just clay on the tile. When we take this up off the tile after bake, it is, you know, it's not going to be stuck to your heart. So you definitely don't want to mess with this because you don't want to deflate your puff. All right, I'm gonna pause this for a moment so I can let the whining cat out and I'll be back. I'm back. The whining cat is now outside and he'll probably want in about 2 minutes because it's pretty cold out there. And our piece that we painted with the red, the ruby red icing paste from Finnabair is dry now. And we are going to silkscreen over that. So you're going to, this particular one, I used where the hearts are covered up so that the red would show through the hearts. So you just, I cleaned this silkscreen up while I was off camera, and when you use mica powders with your screens, you don't have to wash them with soap and water. You can use a baby wipe and wipe it off, or just a damp paper towel. And that's what I did. And then I let it dry. So you're gonna place it down wherever you want on your clay, lightly burnish it so that it sticks. And you probably saw this in my last tutorial. Rhonda at RJCrafts is trying to get these in stock. Hopefully she will have them soon. But for now, if you want one right away, I got this at Hobby Lobby. Use your 40% off coupon and it's like a couple bucks. So we've got our gold Extreme Sheen metallic paint. Go ahead and shake that up. And I'm going to just put a little bit at the edge of my silicone brush. And flip it and go ahead and burnish it in. Now it looks like I'm gonna need a little more, but that's okay. And what you want to do while you're working on your screens is to have to the side a container with some warm soapy water in it so that you can just go ahead and put your screen in it and you don't have to worry about that paint drying in it. So you go ahead and burnish that on. Make sure it's through all the holes. And this looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. And there you go. Perfect. I'm going to go put the screen in some water and I'll be back. I'm back and the paint is dry from the silkscreen. So we're going to go ahead and cut our shape out. And you just choose an area that you like the best. And I think I will go right here. Go ahead and cut your area out. And pull away the excess. Now again, I like to save these. These are veneers. And you can make beads with them afterwards when they're in this small of a piece. You can also take the smaller cutter and cut out earrings like I did with that. But we're not going to do that in this one. So these are ready to bake. And I'm going to go ahead and put these in the oven. And here's the puffy one. It's going to go in with no paint on it because we're going to decorate it after bake. So these are going to go in the oven at 275 for 1 hour. And when they're out and cooled, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back and these are out of the oven and fully cooled. The only thing that you have left to do with these is take them up off your tile, clean up your edges, and go ahead and resin them. I resin top, sides, and backs, and I will have a link to my resin tutorial in the description below this video. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and watch it because I will not be doing the resin process in this video. What I am going to show you is the puffy heart. It is out of the oven, it is cooled, and it is ready to decorate. So what I did here was I painted the puffy hearts, and then I took a bit of non-slip stuff you can get at the Dollar Tree that you would put down on cabinets or under rugs, I think. It's just silicone-y. It's just non-slip stuff, and I cut a piece off of it, and what I did was I folded it up, and it gave me this texture here, which I dipped into some paint and then just dabbed onto the heart. So I will show you how I did that, but first we need to paint the heart, and we are going to use my favorite color of purple. And what I do is just put a little bit of paint into something to hold it. And these paints are almost like magic. I don't know if you've watched my other tutorial, but they look white. And when you put them on to your work, as long as you're using black clay, that's how the color shows up. So all I'm doing is putting a light coat on to the heart, and I don't care if there's brush strokes, you know, that gives it some character, although I do care if there's a hair in it. I guess when you have cats, that's kind of unavoidable. There it is. Get that out of there. All right, so you just are going to do this. If there's a little bit of white, it doesn't matter. That is going to dry into the color that you're using. And what I do is I put about 3 coats of this paint on. You know, you can put as many as you want on or as little, but that's what I used. So I am going to let this dry. I'm going to add my other coats, and then I will be back to show you how I applied the gold. All right, I'm back, and my 3 layers of paint is dry, and it is just a beautiful purple on there, or violet. And I'm going to shake up my gold. Go ahead and put a little bit down. And I'm going to take my shelf liner, fold it, and just so it makes it easier to hold, and then you have texture there. So I'm going to go ahead and dab that into my paint, dab off some of the excess. and dab it onto my heart. Just in any random fashion that you want. And it's as simple as that. And I'm done. Now what you'll do when this is dry, you'll go ahead and get your clay off the tile. And I like to do that with this blade here. You just flip it under there and go ahead and scrape it underneath and it'll pop right up. Then I take and I put on the backs of these, I glue a bail on. And this one I have not resined the back yet, so you see I glue a bail on and then I'll go ahead and apply the resin to the back of that. Now because this is puffy, you're not going to be able to really lay that on a flat surface. So what I like to do is find something that it can be balanced on. And it could, you know, it might just be a little silicone bowl, and that will give you that flat surface to put your resin on so that it's, you know, it stays even. And this one, I've already resined the back. So that is it. That is how I make my hearts. And like I said, there is a resin video, and I will have the link in the description. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Oh, I don't want to forget. I need to tell you about the giveaway for this video. It is going to be for a full set, all 7 cutters, and both of the silk screens. The full bundle is what one lucky person is going to receive in the giveaway. You will get this full bundle here of the cutters and the screens. And I will randomly choose one person in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from the day of this video. I'll also put the date in the description. All you have to do to enter is to like, comment, and share this video to social media, whether it be Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, however you want to do it. Just like, comment, and share, and you will automatically be entered for the giveaway for the full bundle. And actually, you know what? We're not going to go 2 weeks. I think what we're going to do is we're going to hold this on Valentine's Day. A random person will be chosen on February 14th to win this bundle. So, again, I hope that you found this video helpful. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And you're really going to love my next tutorial coming up next week. And I'll see you then. Until then, have a wonderful weekend. Bye.